At the end of yesterday's video, we had just drilled some little holes in the side of Tony's aircraft here so that we could mount it by easy line on the crane. And this pin here is the smallest pin that I think I've got. And okay, we're zeroed. Okay, I don't know if you can read that. I think if you get the light just right, you should be able to read it. And it's 23 thousandths, maybe 23.5, somewhere there. So this pin is almost twice the size of the hole we drilled. Now, the reason I got the pin out here is because I was thinking it's possible that the little holes may have sort of plug themselves up, with the debris, and we won't be able to get the easy line in. So I'm thinking that probably the point of this pin might go in far enough to clear it if need be, but it might be that we don't need to do that. So let's give it a try. I can honestly say I have not tried it yet. So here we go. I have cut 4 pieces of easy line, approximately 2.5 inches long, and my thinking is that instead of having one piece loop from this hole into this hole and then form a loop on the top, it might be easier to have 4 separate lines and try and get them to join at the same place later. That's my thinking. You'll see when I get to that point. Anyway, let's stick the macro lens on and zoom in on one of these little holes. And as I mentioned, I haven't tried it yet, so it's going to be new to me. Okay, now when I said it's new to me, I meant that it's new in that I have never tried to poke easy line into a hole this small. Okay, make sure we get enough of it in there. That should be lots. Now, are we going to be lucky on this side? Maybe I've got too long of a grab here. Oh no, there it goes. Okay, I think before we do the other side, we should maybe touch a little bit of CA. I can't make up my mind. Should I use thin or medium? Probably the medium, the thinned out medium. Now here's another thought. I think that the easy line should be maybe draped over the way it's supposed to go here. Like that. And that way when the CA glue wicks its way into the rubber, it will kind of harden in the right direction. Okay. Now, on the other hand, I don't want it to cure against the side of the canopy. That wouldn't be good. Okay, let's just leave that one like that. And the one at the firewall is correct. Okay, now just the tiniest amount here. That's not quite right. See if I can maybe pull that easy line up just a little bit. Or is it too late now? No, it's too late now. Well, it's going to straighten something like that, I guess. Now this one, same way. Okay, that one went better. I got too much on this one here. Okay, give that a couple of minutes. Okay, obviously I've turned everything around here. Get this out of the way. And I will reposition and make sure our focusing is just right. And it was, more or less. Well, that's probably in about 1/8 of an inch or so. I'm trying not to block your vision here. Okay, now we'll carefully do the same thing we did last time. That looks about right. Now this time maybe we'll see if we can put on a little bit less. Don't know if I got any on there. That's too much. I think it got on there, but I think I made a mess. That's what happened. Sorry, Tony.
And I sure should be sorry. That was terrible. So why did I laugh?
Okay. Now the trick is to have it so that all 4 lines come to a point approximately right at the tip of the tweezer, and that there doesn't appear to be any slack in any one line. Oh no! This one I pulled out. How did that happen?
Well, I found out what happened. I watched very closely when I was editing out here, and I put the glue up on the canopy, not down on the hole. Well, it's a good thing the glue is clear.
Okay, I'm not going to bother putting the macro lens on, but it appears that there was no glue there. Well, there is now.
Okay, here's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. The camera was facing towards me. The holes were facing away from me. The camera could see it good. I couldn't see it good. Next time, I'm going to let the camera hold the applicator.
Okay, here's sort of where we were almost 2 hours ago. I've just spent the last 2 hours trying to manipulate these files that you just saw. And I was trying to think to myself, do I show this nonsense or don't I? If I don't show it, Tony, you'll never know. But, I don't know. Anyway, as I was starting to say there a while ago, I want all these lines to come up and come to a point right about where the point of the tweezers is. That should look fairly realistic. Now the trick is to get them all so that there's sort of equal tension. I think that if I can get it so that the the knot, if you want to call it a knot, is right about here. I think that the plane should balance pretty good, and I've got an idea for getting these all at the same tension. Okay, I think my method is good. I think my apparatus is bad. And what's happening is this blue tack, which is supposed to, independently slide up and down through the eye of the needle here, is sticking together. So I'm going to have to go down to a workshop and find 4 little tiny pieces of metal, like little nuts or something. And I think this is going to help to get the cables all the same tension, and then somehow work them all together. Well, let's just get the nuts on there instead of the blue tack. The idea is good. It's the blue tack was not good. I'm sure glad that I save little stuff like this. I've got little boxes down in my workshop that have all kinds of odds and ends and nuts and bolts. And okay, now grab hold of this. I don't remember ever gluing anything to metal with CA glue, but I don't see why it shouldn't work. And I don't think this will be a lost cause, because when I'm done I can always just scrape it off. Suppose I should be using my macro lens for this, but if I can see it with my glasses, I'm sure you can see it with the normal lens here. Well, actually, this is not my normal lens. It's my wide-angle lens. For you camera buffs, it goes from 16 to 35 millimeter. It's a zoom. And what I like about it is it will focus very, very close. And the last one here. And here we go again with more information than you want to hear. However, if you're a camera buff, you will want to hear this. Right now, this scene that we're just looking at, I shot it with the lens turned right down to its narrowest, which is 35 millimeter. The f-stop was f22, and the shutter speed was 1/30th of a second at 30 frames per second. If you're into this sort of photography, you'll know how that can work. Now, the ISO was a wonderful 72. 80 is considered excellent, and this is even lower. Now, how do I manage that? Well, everything's under a very bright light here. It's almost like daylight. And where was I focused? Well, there's 4 nuts there. I was focused on the pinpoint focused right on the top of the 3rd one from the left. And then, of course, when you stop it down to f22, the rest is sort of sharp. Yeah. Anyway, I could go on and on about this. But I can just hear the stop buttons being clicked right now. So, let's just continue on with what we were doing. Now, I think one of the hardest things that I did just now is getting all of these lines untangled. As you can imagine, there's probably about 16 different ways that they can go. But I think I pretty much got it here. Okay, these are the 2 to the back, these are the 2 to the front. And they are basically separated. The nut that is on this line on this side is over on this side of the needle, and the nut that comes off of this line here is on this side of the needle. Now I know they do sort of crisscross right here, but I don't think they're really binding. I don't think there's any binding going on. Now the idea is that when I change the angle of the plane, each line is individually sprung So it's sort of like independent suspension on your car, if you know what I mean. And hopefully it'll equal out. And it does appear to me that the easy line is straightened out. The trick is going to be now to raise everything up so that we can get the place that they all meet, just to maybe a quarter of an inch above the canopy. I'm just going to go ahead and try and work on that now, because I know you don't want to spend 2 hours watching me do it.
According to their website, the hobby store should have been open for just over 2 hours now. They're operating under reduced hours, and you can't walk in and buy anything, but you can have something delivered if you want. And I'm having these 2 items delivered. Yeah, we'll see. They might even be here this afternoon, but I don't think they'll be here before the end of this video. Anyway, we will have a package opening, and at that time we'll talk about it and why I ordered them. Well, the flat clear, I guess you know what that's all about. Anyway, just thought I'd let you know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if that stuff gets here before I have to close this video off, which is approximately an hour from right now. But that's not what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is, you notice the easy line right here. It's not hanging natural. It's not pulling straight. Now what's happened here is the CA glue has put a kink in it. It just sometimes, for some reason, it does that, and there's nothing you can do about it. I'm just wondering if I can somehow squeeze that kink out. I think I am. Now look at that. I didn't think it would work. I just took a chance. Okay. Now, if we can raise this up so that we've got sort of a maybe I'll reposition the camera just a little bit here. I've got to figure out how can I get those all to be together below the needle. They have to be together below the needle. I mean, I can't drop my CA right there, because if I do, it's going to adhere to the needle. I wonder if I could improve on this. It's not quite right. I think it's quite right now. Oh, hey, here's a thought. Now, I haven't tried this. All of this is a first time for me. What would happen if I was to go around a few times? You know, get them all to twist together. No, that's not working, because this wing is higher than this wing. She's in a slight turn to the left. And it's also a little bit too nose up. Yeah, let's try it again and see what'll happen. You know, if it doesn't work, I can always unwind it, right? You know, that's pretty close. Can we go a little bit more, maybe? One more and see what will happen here. Okay. Does it want to hang natural? Yeah. All right, let's take a chance here, and we'll put a little bit of CA right there on that. Where's my applicator here? I should have been more ready. Now this better work, because I only get one chance at this. Hey, I should put the macro lens on. Okay, I have repositioned here. And we'll just let this wick its way down. Shouldn't need very much. Not worried about it wicking up. Well, I guess I should be, because it'll... I don't think I need to put it on both sides, but I did. No, I couldn't see it. Maybe you could. I'm hoping it wicked its way right down to where those 4 lines actually meet. Now let's leave that for a while.
Now I'm afraid that our "for a while" is going to have to be tomorrow in the next episode. So thanks for watching, and all being well, we will see you tomorrow.